In March 2022, the decomposing body of LaSonia Dutton, 31 years of age, who had been missing for several days, was found just 4 meters away from her kitchen window at her family home in the remote town of Wilcannia in northwest New South Wales. Her body was found by her uncle, who was shocked to see LaSonia's decomposing body being eaten by a dog. Again, she was missing for several days, and she was found just 4 meters from the kitchen window of her family home. The article doesn't tell us how many people were living at the family home, but LaSonia's father has described the family home as being a local drop-in center, which is a casual term for saying that a lot of people in the local community would pop in, say hello, have a cup of tea, have a bit of a chinwag kind of thing. It was a social environment by all accounts. We're not told that LaSonia was living alone, but we are told that she was missing for several days. Her uncle discovered her body just 4 meters away from the kitchen window of the family home. Her body was decomposing and it was being eaten by a dog. What a horrific sight, what a horrific realization for the uncle. A police investigation was enacted and it was concluded that LaSonia died due to an unlifing. I'm not able to say the word that begins with S. YouTube doesn't like that word apparently. So the police ruled that LaSonia unlifed herself, and they concluded that largely on the basis that an electrical cord was found near her body. However, a coroner stated in an autopsy report that third-party involvement could not be ruled out, and further, the coroner stated that LaSonia's death is suspicious. So seemingly the coroner wasn't able to come to an absolute conclusion in regards to how exactly LaSonia died, but it does leave open the possibility that she was murdered. LaSonia's father, Keith Dutton, believes that LaSonia did not take her own life. LaSonia's father believes that she was murdered. Further, he's very unsatisfied with the police investigation given the coroner's report states that her death was suspicious and that third-party involvement could have been a possibility. LaSonia had 2 children. She was said to have loved life, and with that, her father struggles to believe that she decided to take her own life. The father also questions how it was possible for her body to remain outside of the family window in the backyard for several days. We're not told how many people lived in the home, but it was a family home. She had 2 children. We're not sure of the ages of the 2 children, but how didn't anybody identify her body sooner? Literally in the backyard, literally being eaten by a dog. We're not told if it's a family dog or a neighbor's dog. We're not given that information within this one article, which is a little bit light on details, but this does seem to be a very harrowing situation. LaSonia's father also points to the fact that he was told by neighbors that they saw 2 people attempting to enter LaSonia's home the night before her body was found. Why were 2 people trying to get into her home? Were they trying to break in? Were they trying to recover her body? We don't know. Is the neighbor telling the truth? Is the witness telling the truth? Were they correct in what they claim to have seen? We don't know. Further to that, there were rumors that people saw LaSonia being assaulted on the Friday night that she was last seen, and a bloodied knife was found at the local oval. Again, we're not provided any solid details there. If a bloodied knife was found at the local oval, was that in any way related to this case? We don't know. The article isn't giving us a great deal of information. I'm not sure why. It's a bit confusing, to be honest. The autopsy certainly would be able to establish whether or not LaSonia had been stabbed, but there's no mention of that within this article. So it is a mystery. The article's not giving us enough to really come to any real conclusions, but we do know that the father and other family members are extremely unhappy and essentially do not agree with the New South Wales police investigation conclusions that LaSonia unlifed herself. The New South Wales Coroner's Court agrees. They've taken over the investigation from the police. I didn't know that was a thing, but the New South Wales Coroner's Court has essentially said, you know what, police, we're not satisfied with your investigation. The family is not satisfied with your investigation. It is possible that LaSonia faced foul play. It is possible that she was murdered, and the New South Wales Coroner's Court seemingly do not accept that the police have performed an adequate investigation at this point. So they're taken over. Based on the scant information within this article and based on the disturbing nature of the subject, my feeling is that I applaud that. It seems that there is some cause to investigate further. The coroner's report claims that LaSonia's death was suspicious. Her body was found found a few meters away from the kitchen window of the family home. We're presuming that at least 2 children were living in the family home. That's a guess. I don't know. I'm guessing that people lived in the family home other than LaSonia. They would have had neighbors. The smell of a decomposing body so close to the kitchen window in the backyard. I mean, that's just going to be too much to miss. She was missing for several days. Presumably, even if she wasn't reported as being missing to the police, presumably her family, her friends would have checked the home and the surrounding areas, and that's going to include the backyard. That's going to include just outside of the kitchen window. So why did it take several days for the uncle to discover LaSonia's body in the state that he did find it, decomposing and being eaten by a dog? Again, we don't know where the dog has come from. If it's a stray dog, if it's a family dog, if it's the neighbor's dog, we don't know. It's a terrible situation. I'm going to say full condolences to the family and friends of LaSonia Dutton. Perhaps she did unlife herself. Perhaps she was murdered. We really don't know. But we do want an adequate investigation to be performed. And seemingly the New South Wales Coroner's Court believe that has not been the case so far. So hopefully that is rectified. Hopefully the coroner's court is able to come to a more firm conclusion in regards to LaSonia's death. If it is found that she is likely to have unlifed herself, well then hopefully that serves as some comfort or certainly closure to her family and friends. And if the New South Wales Coroner's Court find that it is likely that foul play resulted in her death, then let's hope the investigation is able to pursue, track down and find and trial the culprit or culprits. But that's all the information we have, so I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.